Hello to everyone in TV land. This is Focus on Liberia online television, and you are listening to the Focus on Liberia Daily News with Gwendolyn Dorado. I bring you the headlines. The Secretary General of the Coalition for Democratic Change, Jefferson Koji, criticizes the Boakai's administration, accusing it of political harassment and putting the country at risk of chaos. The Liberian National Police has dismissed one officer and placed two others on indefinite suspension following allegations of impropriety and gross misconduct. The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency reports the seizure of drugs valued at US 1 million from across Liberia. Away from home, a judge in the U.S. state of Georgia has blocked an order for ballots in the November's presidential elections to be counted by hand. This plus many more coming up on the Daily News. Now the news in details. The Secretary General of the Coalition for Democratic Change, Jefferson Koji, has strongly criticized the Boakai's administration, accusing it of political harassment and putting the country at risk of chaos. In a statement posted on his official Facebook page on Wednesday, October 16th, Koji claimed that President Joseph Boakai's government is targeting CDC members and supporters across various ministries and agencies. Koji also attacked the way the Liberian National Police is being used under the current administration, asserting that the Boakai's police is not only being politicized and weaponized, but turned into a cartel of armed robbery, making the country and citizens vulnerable and insecure, accusing the police of acting like criminals instead of protecting the people. He further slammed President Boakai for neglecting civil servants while enjoying personal luxuries. Koji pointed out that while workers haven't seen any increase in their pay, President Boakai walks around with 100,000 for entertainment. He also criticized the president for continuing the salary harmonization policy, which he once called harmful to civil servants. The CDC Secretary General made it clear that his party would not stay silent on what he called unfair political harassment against its members. The Liberian National Police has dismissed one officer and placed two others on indefinite suspension following allegations of impropriety and gross misconduct. During a press briefing at the LNP headquarters on Tuesday, October 15, Inspector General Gregory Coleman detailed the events of October 12 that patrolman Augustine Ben and Sensi Massacre reportedly entered the hotel room of Mr. Nguya Din and Mr. Leven too at the luxury hotel in Tingles Village in Painesville without legal justification. The two patrolmen arrested the Vietnamese nationals and confiscated a sum of US 24,000 before escorting them to the Liberian National Police headquarters. According to Inspector Coleman, ACP Bala allegedly intimidated the businessmen and threatened to take mock shots, further compounding the unlawful nature of the incident. Inspector Coleman also revealed that patrolman Sensi Massacre has been previously suspended indefinitely since 2018 for theft, raising questions about his continued presence in the force. Following this incident, ACP Wala and Patrolman Augustine Ben have been interdicted and referred to the Professional Standards Division for investigation under the Police Act. Sino County Superintendent Peter Wule Nyinswa is backing an oil palm company's illegal operations against a local community, demanding its rights and holding the firm accountable. In 2022, Liberia Natural Produce Incorporated purchased a palm plantation in the Tazu Chiefdom of Sanquin District, Sano County, from equatorial palm oil. However, the LNPI operates the plantation without the Liberian government's approval, sparking a protest. In a letter last month seen by the daylight, Yenswag urged Tazu to sign an MOU with the LNPI purposes, dismissing the community's concern over rights abuses. Yenswag had launched an investigation after tension brewed in the area following the community's complaint. He based his decision partly on a previous MOU that locals had signed with the LNPI, but his reason for his decision is faulty. The document he referenced only gave LNPI an exclusive right to purchase oil from local producers, not to operate the plantation. A daylight investigation established that LNPI likely used the document to gain control of the plantation during last year's heated presidential elections. In its findings, Yensua claimed that the government and LNPI amended that's the 2008 EPO concession agreement in March. However, there is no public record to support that claim. Barely a week following the resignation of former Commerce Minister Amin Modad, who served the ministry from February to October, President Joseph Yoma Boakai has named Deputy Commerce Minister for Administration Scholastica Tanen Yenkanimle as acting Minister of Commerce and Industry. She is to act in the position until the Liberian Chief Executive nominates a new Commerce Minister, an executive mansion release said. As Deputy Minister for Administration, Madam Yenkanimle for the past 8 months worked along with former Minister Modad in overseeing administrative functions of the ministry. Her duties included ensuring efficient operation and coordination among various departments of the Ministry of Commerce and Industry, implementing policies, procedures, and regulations in accordance with the ministry's objectives and the Liberian government's vision on trade and commerce. While serving as Deputy Minister for Administration, she also assisted the Minister proper to formulate and implement policies geared toward achieving the mandate and goals of the ministry. Madam Tanen Nyekanimle comes to the position with considerable wealth of experience. Away from Liberia, a judge in the U.S. state of Georgia has blocked an order for ballots in November's presidential election to be counted by hand. Judge Robert McBurney ruled poll workers would not have received adequate training to handle millions of ballots, adding that the last-minute change would have led to administrative chaos. The hand count mandate was passed by the pro-Trump majority on the Georgia Election Board last month, and Tuesday's ruling was welcomed by Democratic candidate Kamala Harris. Early voting began in Georgia on Tuesday with record numbers casting their votes in the key swing state ahead of Election Day on November 5th. More than 328,000 people voted in person or by post on the first day of voting, officials said, more than double the previous record of the 136,000 in 2020. Around 5 million votes for president were cast in Georgia that year, with Democrat Joe Biden winning the state by just under 12,000. Trump refused to accept the result, and he was now being charged on 8 counts with unlawfully trying to change the outcome, which he denies. A phone call recording has him telling Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to find 11,000 780 votes. That does it for the Focus on Liberia Daily News. I do a recap of the headlines. The Secretary General of the Coalition for Democratic Change, Jefferson Koji, criticizes the Boakai administration, accusing it of political harassment and putting the country at risk of chaos. The Liberian National Police has dismissed one officer and placed two others on indefinite suspension following allegations of impropriety and gross misconduct. The Liberia Drug Enforcement Agency reports the seizure of drugs valued at US 1 million from across Liberia. And away from Liberia, a judge in the US state of Georgia has blocked an order for ballots in the November's presidential elections to be counted by hand. On behalf of the management and staff of Focus on Liberia, many thanks to our listeners and viewers. We urge that you keep following us and share our videos. My name is Gwendolyn Dorado. I present it.